Welcome to Love in Life, a guide to a positive mindset. My name's Lisa and I'm here to help you unlock the secrets to a happier, more confident and more fulfilling life. In the first 99 episodes, we explored not just practical tools that can elevate your mindset and your life, but also delved into the spiritual aspects like the power of crystals, universal laws and energy healing. Whether you're new or returning, let's continue this inspiring journey of growth and self-discovery together. Welcome back to Love in Life. I hope you've had an amazing couple of weeks since I last spoke to you. For those of you who are listeners as opposed to YouTube subscribers, as always, I just want to say thank you to those in Glasgow. So, as you know, every week I like to go through and have a look to see where I had the most downloads. And last week, the highest city to download was Glasgow. But interestingly, actually, just I'm looking at this, first time I noticed this, my listens in the US have dropped. Unless my listens in the UK have grown. I don't know. Either way, thank you, whoever you are, whether you're watching or listening. I'm so glad that you're back here with me. So this last week, I have been working on something. I decided that my chakra guide that I created last year, almost a year ago now, I've decided that whilst it's bloody amazing and I still think it is brilliant, I almost think it's too big. It's almost too much information, and that can be a little bit overwhelming. That ties in nicely to what I'm going to talk about today, actually. But so I decided about a week ago to redo that and to I've been talking a lot about positivity lately because that's what we're all trying to achieve here. We are trying to bring more positivity into our daily lives. So what I've done is I'm getting rid of the chakra guide. So if you do want to download it it's still live at the moment, but it won't be there for much longer. So if you do want it, then go ahead and download it now. It's like 20 odd pages. It's ridiculous, really. I could probably sell that. Who knows? Maybe I will one day. So definitely get it now whilst you can. But what I was going to say is I decided to condense it down, but to focus on bringing more positivity into our lives, into like the little things that you can do on a daily basis to help us feel more aligned. So, that's really exciting, but that's what I've been working on this week. Now, normally, I'll be honest with you, that is the kind of thing, like when I have a big project like that, and even though for some people that might not seem big, but when I have a project, I quite often feel overwhelmed. And reflecting on this, I have always felt like that. Like when I was at uni, if I had any essays to do, my dissertation, like all things like that, any coursework, even when I was at school, when I did my gratitude journal. Okay, so when I have projects like that, I find it overwhelming. I find the process overwhelming because it is a process. So rather than leaving it all to the last minute, like I usually do, what I've done this past week is change up my process a bit this week with that particular project. And I thought that it would be good to share with you because there might be other people who find projects overwhelming, who find having tasks to do overwhelming. I don't want to say big projects because, I don't want it to be like, well, you should only get overwhelmed if you have a big project. Like small projects can be overwhelming too. And it doesn't mean that you're not passionate about it. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing it. It just means that you need to work out a way to manage your process of it. Okay, so I'm just going to share with you what I did with this particular project. And actually thinking about it, now I'm thinking about it, this is literally just coming to me now. But since I've been doing my gratitude journal, for those of you who've got my gratitude journal, you'll know that one of the sections that I fill out each day is the brain dump. So all the things that I know I need to get done each day is basically like a mini to-do list. Without the pressure of feeling like you have to do it. So I don't like to call it a to-do list, but like all the things that are clogging up the space in my brain, I write them down each morning, and then I prioritize which things I need to do. And those other things, they just carry on to the next day. So actually, this process has really helped me over the last couple of months, and this last week is just one example of how I've been using that. So rather than trying to complete it all at once, or trying to focus all my energy on completing it in as quick a time as I possibly can, what I've done with this project, bloody fly, bugger off. What I've done with this particular project is broken it down into little manageable bits each day. So I've, rather than focusing on, it's called Positivity Reset Map. Rather than focusing on Positivity Reset Map as a whole, I've broken down the elements of that I wanted to do each day. So for example, to write out the content, to decide on the content. So that was a job for one day. The next day was to work out how I wanted it to look. So I did that on another day, and so on and so on. So I tell you one thing I've really noticed is that by allowing myself to do a little bit one day, and if I feel like picking it up again the next day, then I do, like just going with my own energy. That has really helped me to see, like by taking off the pressure, that has helped me to see how passionate I am about a project. Because sometimes I think if you put too much pressure on yourself, oh God, I'm not complaining about there we go, move that over. I'm not complaining about the sun, but I've got a little bit coming through my window and it's totally reflecting on my camera. Where was I? Like by doing it that way, I think it's a really good test as to whether you are like really passionate about something. Because obviously if you keep coming back to it, there's a reason why you want to keep coming back to it. If you are dreading going back to it, then you're probably not that passionate about it. And I know we don't always have much choice about whether we have to do something or not. Like if it's something you have to do for work, for example, we haven't really got a lot of choice. Like that, you just need to find a way to get on board with it. And actually, by breaking it down little by little, like doing manageable bits each day, I find works well for me. And by doing it that way, it just helped me stay focused on it and stay on point with it. But the thing is, there's no right way or wrong way of handling projects like that. Like you need to know what works for you. If you find big projects overwhelming, then the best thing for you to do might be to break it down and do it the way that I do it, by breaking it down. However, you might be the kind of person that you need to get it done in one go, or in as few goes as possible. Otherwise, you will lose interest in it. And like, that's fine. Either way, there's no right or wrong way of getting things done. The main thing is, if you say you're going to do something, be real with yourself. If it's something that you have to do, if it's something that you think you want to do, or if it's something that it doesn't really matter whether you do it or not, and let that determine how you're going to approach it. But for me, breaking it down and doing little bite-sized bits each day helps me get to the end of the process without feeling resentment towards it, without feeling burned out, you know? Because I quite often find that if I try and finish things too quickly, if I try and put pressure on myself to finish something in a certain amount of time, then I'm one of those people that I'll like get to the end of it, but I won't completely finish something. Do you know what I mean? I'll then move on to the next project. So yeah, that's just what works for me. Letting myself ease off the gas and go with the flow a bit more. Like, I think a lot of the times we put pressure on ourselves to power through and to get things done. And that is a very masculine approach in terms of energy, not men. But in terms of energy, that's a very masculine approach. And if you are like solar plexus led, then that might work really well for you, is powering through. Whereas I'm more heart led. I have to feel into things. I have to flow with what feels right for me. So have a think about that and let me know, what you think there. I'm just going to move that over again. Okay. And actually that leads me very nicely into the next thing that I wanted to tell you about today, which is how I'm normally a rigid 5 a.m, 5:30, up, sticking to my morning routine, bam, 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 bam. Like, I don't know about you, but once I get something in my head, right, I get up at 5:30. I feel like I have to get up at 5:30 every day and, follow the process that I've sort of built for myself. But if I don't stick to it, then for some reason I feel guilty about it. And like when the kids are off school, so on their holidays, they've just had their Easter holidays, and normally I just let myself get up a little bit later on those days, because there's no unless I've got a client, there's no need for me to rush up. Even if I've got a client, I don't usually have clients till 10 anyway. So actually in the holidays, that's when I allow myself to just go with the flow a little bit more and not put so much pressure on myself to get up at 5:30. And then as soon as they go back to school, that's when I put the pressure back on myself. But do you know what I've done this time is so they went back just over a week ago. And so normally I would be straight back to my routine of getting up at 5:30. But I've allowed myself to get up when I feel like it. Like, I still obviously make sure I get up just before the boys get up, because, I'm a mum and I want to make sure that they're up and out the door on time. Normally, I like to have an hour before they start waking up and blah, 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 so as I can get my morning routine done. It's all very rigid usually. And I've just allowed myself to flow a little bit more. Like, I've let go of that guilt of not sticking to it. And it's felt liberating, like really liberating. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds really stupid, but just that one simple thing, like just allowing myself to stay in bed for an extra 30 minutes or something. Like, I still get up, and actually I've still been getting up and, when I feel like it, and doing my morning routine as I normally would anyway. In fact, I probably stick to it more now I've taken the pressure off of myself a little bit. It becomes a chore, I think, for me anyway, you might be different, but for me, it becomes a chore if I am too rigid, if I set myself too much structure, if I tell myself I have to do something. That does not work for me. I, for some reason, like to rebel against myself. So if I say I have to do something, I don't tend to do it. So actually, this little bit more flexibility that I've been allowing myself has really helped me to be more consistent, which sounds crazy. Oh, here we go. The sun's moving over again. I'm going to move this back. There we go. So yeah, I used to think that if I wasn't rigid with my routine, then I'd lose my momentum and fall off of sticking to my morning routine. But actually, the more flow, the more grace I give myself, the better I show up for myself, because I'm doing it from the heart, because I'm doing it with flow, because I am in my feminine. And actually, when you think about it, if I say that I'm heart-led, I am compassionate, I'm a compassionate person, I am an open heart, and I quite often lead from my heart-led, obviously, That makes no sense, but you know what I mean. But actually, if I try and block that, if I try and be rigid on stuff, then that is actually blocking the energy in my heart center. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, like, we probably all go through different phases because life is a season. There are seasons within life and we change. We are constantly changing due to our experiences, due to how we process those experiences. Like, we are always changing. Our needs are always changing. And I think what's really important is to notice what feels good for you. Like, sometimes it might feel good to be more heart-led and to be more flow and to be more like feminine with your style, with your approach. Whereas other times it might feel good to have a more structured, rigid approach and be more in the masculine season of your life. Like, it's really important to just notice what feels good for you and go with that, because it's going to change at some point. And this is the whole point in self-development. Like, we are always learning about ourselves if we allow ourselves to. Like, if you just get stuck in it and wonder why something isn't happening for you, then, without looking into how you're feeling, without reflecting and honouring what we need, then we don't develop. And those are the people that usually end up feeling out of alignment, feeling negative a lot of the time. And I don't say that as a criticism of people, because not all people are know that they need to be aware of things that are changing for them. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm rambling a lot today, but this is what's come up for me. So this is what I'm talking about. So to summarise, this week for me has been a reminder that the heart doesn't thrive on pressure. It thrives on being more compassionate with yourself. It thrives on being a little bit more flexible with yourself and being a bit softer with your approach to things and yourself, even when we're dealing with difficult things. Heart chakra, so the energy in our heart, it's not just about love for other people. It's about love for ourselves as well. It's about talking to ourselves more gently. And by doing that this week, personally, it's made such a difference. Like, taking off that pressure and just being a bit more gentle with myself has made such a difference. So when we soften the pressure, when we allow ourselves to do things in a way that feels good, not just right or what you should do, but letting go and doing what feels good, we actually show up more fully, we show up more lovingly because we are coming from the heart. Does that make sense? Okay, if this episode has resonated with you, the reset map is ready for you. And actually, there is a whole page in there about the heart chakra with a few prompts on there that have helped me reflect on this. And you'll find the link to it in the show notes. So this month, you'll find me talking a lot about the heart chakra and about trust and about compassion and all the things that come with an open heart chakra, because that is my theme for the month. That is what we're focusing on in the membership this month. If it's something that speaks to you, why not join my group session, which is on Saturday, the 17th of May. So in a couple of weeks' time at 3 p.m. UK time. But you'll also see me talking about it throughout my social media and on the podcast as well, because it is amazing how many things link back to the different energy centers within us. And just by focusing on one at a time, like I said, in that more flow, taking off the pressure, just focusing on one at a time, which is what we do in the membership. I find that it just helps you feel more aligned bit by bit, genuinely aligned bit by bit, rather than putting too much pressure on yourself to do it all in one go. So I'd love to see you there. Link if you want to join is in the show notes. Those sessions are still $22.22 at the moment, but they will be going up in the near future. I don't know when I've done a bit more, inner work on my own worth, but they are such good sessions. I have such amazing feedback from people, and I know they are worth more than $22.22. So I'd love to see you there. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you can join me. But before I go today, I want to leave you with a journaling question that is linked to what we've talked about today. So I want you to ask yourself, when you've got 5 minutes, if you're in the car, obviously, and can't journal right now, then you could either do this now in your head in the car, like turn everything off, speak out loud to yourself, or wait till you get home and come back to this point at the end of the show. But I want you to ask yourself, where in my life am I still trying to follow rules that no longer feel like mine, that no longer feel right? Where in my life am I trying to follow rules that no longer feel like mine? Let me know how you get on with that. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a post in my Facebook group asking that question, and I'd love you to share what comes up with you in that post. So please do head over and let me know. It's a small community of lovely, mainly women. I think it's mainly women. I think it's all women. But it's a safe, small community of like-minded women who are on this journey with us. So do come on over and let me know. Anyway, I will speak to you next time. Can't wait to hear from you. See you then. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd love it if you could take a moment to subscribe, rate, and if you're listening on Apple, as 95% of you do, review. It really helps the podcast reach more people who are ready to shift their mindset and raise their vibration. And if you know someone who would benefit from today's episode, feel free to share it with them. Until next time, keep loving life and know that I'm sending you so much love.